So, yesterday I did a fanfiction idea called Primarch Korra, which is a Legend of Korra Warhammer 40k AU that made Korra into the 11th Primarch. Essentially, it was just kind of a what-if idea that I won't go too deep into the video. If you want to check out more of that, just go back, go on my channel and just check out. This video, that video came out as of this recording yesterday, so if you want to check out the whole video, just hit the link, just head on over to my channel and it should be there somewhere. I don't know whoever is going to see this in the future, but there you go. Yeah. So just for a recap real fast, in this continuity, like I said, Korra is the 11th Primarch, and she's the only female Primarch, because in this continuity, the Emperor was like, you know, when Malkador suggested, hey, how about you make them all women? And he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Although, what if I made one of them a woman? So Korra, in here, she got her own planet. She has her own legionnaires called the Ursa Majors. Those are her space marines, and they're all men. And she also kind of she respects all of her brothers, but she doesn't really get along with a lot of them, especially Conrad. She respects and adores Horus. She doesn't really have a lot of love for like Rogel or Lion, and she does she thinks she likes Rabute, but she likes Gilliman, but she also acknowledges that he's a bit of a stick in the mud. The Primarch she gets along best with are Jagatai and Lehman, as well as she also has a soft spot for Angron and Lorgar. And she also has, Sanguinius, duh. But a lot of the other Primarchs, she's either she doesn't trust them, or she cares about them, they're her brothers, but she also is I don't want to be around them for that long. So Alfarius, Conrad, Corvus she likes, but yeah, Fulgrim she thinks is a stuck-up asshole. And Perturabo, she thinks is a little too obsessive with his work. He's a little too obsessive with his work, but she likes his designs. So also in here, we also have a few characters. I'm gonna speed run some things. She doesn't acknowledge the Emperor. She acknowledges the Emperor as her creator, but she doesn't call him father. She refuses to call the Emperor her father. She calls him the Emperor. She even says yeah, he's definitely a god, but even if he doesn't want to admit it, but I'm not calling him my dad. I call him my creator, but I'm not giving him that pleasure of calling him of being referred to as the Emperor's daughter. There is also she has in this continuity, Tenzin is a tech priest and advisor to her. We also have Mako and Bolin, who are members of the Ursa Majors, who are space marines who serve under her, from her gene seed. And they even call her they refer to her, and I forgot to talk about this, is that they refer to her as the War Mother. She's also called, since they're called the Ursa Majors, Korra is referred to as the Bear among her brothers. You know, we have Lehman is the wolf, Lion is, well, take a guess, and Korra is the bear. In fact, her Legionnaire's battle cry is, "The bears are upon you." So, anyway. She also had, again, I'm speed running a lot of shit, right? Just so a lot of people are caught up if they don't want to watch the whole video. What else? Right. The other thing I forgot to mention earlier. Korra is a psyker. Her psyker abilities come through controlling the 4 elements. So there's that. She also she uses those abilities, and on the world she was found, she's referred to as the Avatar, which isn't a cycle. It's just a title given to a great hero that's going to unite the 4 nations of their world. But yeah. So now that we've gotten that all taken care of, let's talk about the second part of this video, the Horus Heresy. So in this story, Korra is part of the Great Crusade. Her and the Ursa Majors are out conquering planets, battling orcs, and they hear then they get word of what happened on Monarchia. They hear of what happened on Monarchia, and Korra's first reaction was, what the fuck did he do? Like, what the fuck did the Emperor do? She she did care about Lorgar, even though she wasn't as fanatic as him. She did she would have these theological discussions with Lorgar and be like, yeah, he's a god, but he doesn't deserve our worship. And Lorgar was always like, no, he does. It's our father, you see. But Korra hears about what happens on Monarchia and goes to Monarchia, seeing Lorgar and what was left of the Word Bearers after hearing their story, and she's just enraged by it. And especially Rabute's just thing to go, like the audacity that he went along with it with no fight. So the next person she goes to is Gilliman, and she goes to Macragge to confront her brother about it. And Rabute's just like, what would you have me do? Father command. And he's like, no, our creator gave you an order that you could have ignored. Out of all of us, Gilliman, I figured you would be the one to stand up to him the most outside, and she's like, and Gilliman's like, so why don't you stand up to him, Korra? Why does my sister howl at me for doing something she's always wanted to do? And she goes, I'm busy caring about the people in the Empire. I am busy battling, the horrors that are out there. I have seen ungodly abominations that you couldn't even imagine, and I'm protecting the people that we are meant to crusade for, to usher in this humanity. But it's not going to get better if we keep stabbing each other in the back like this, and you should have been there for Lorgar. And he's like, you're right, I should have, but I couldn't, I can't stand up to Father. And she's like, well, maybe I will finally stand up to him. So things continue, and things get progressively worse, because now they're hearing about, shit is going sideways. And it's soon revealed that, yeah, Horus has betrayed the legions, Lorgar has betrayed the Imperium, and it's only getting worse. So Korra heads to finds out that there's an attack on Istvan of some of her brothers, so she goes to help, but she's intercepted by the Night Lords. She's intercepted. Her and Conrad get into a fight, as well as the Night Lords and the Ursa Majors battle it out. Korra does manage to beat Conrad barely in a fight, because she even acknowledges this guy is good. Like, I can't, but like, she's in shock that she's fighting her own brother. As much as she doesn't like him, it's like, it's still my brother. I'm fighting for my life against my own brother. So the Ursa Majors were caught off guard. They couldn't get to Istvan to save them, unlike the other Primarchs who did. And now it's just full on, the galaxy is in flames. It's just full on, we are now in the midst of the Horus Heresy. So Korra is trying to wrap her brain around her own brothers turning on her, and she even, when she's having a discussion with the Emperor and Malkador, she's like, you started all this. You did this. And you caused what you did on Monarchia, what you did to you could have spared with all your great power, oh father of mine, you could have saved Angron the Butcher's Nails. You could have helped Motarian and his diseases. You could have done all of that. What god lets his sons, suffer the way you did? I'm sorry, I mean your creations. And the Emperor approaches Korra, and he's like, the only reason I'm letting you live is because I need the armies. But when this is over, daughter, you will be forgotten like the second. And she's like, I will not go. If that's the case, I will not go quietly. So she's on everyone's shit list. Korra is on everyone's shit list, and the traitor Primarchs are aware that Korra's faith has been tested. So even though Conrad, her and Conrad had a fight, Horus is like, I want her to see the truth. And you keep in mind, he's upset that, all he's got is Alfarius, Fulgrim, Perturabo, Angron, fucking Conrad. He's, like he said in one of the books, I am the master of broken monsters. So Horus, knowing that he has such a good relationship with Korra, sends a message to her, and she's like, at first, like, her and her legions are like, ma'am, like, mother, mother, we did battle with the Night Lords, and Horus is burning the galaxy asunder, and you want to talk to him? And she's like, maybe I can help him see the light. Like, maybe I can turn things around. And if not, and she's like, then I guess I'm returning to Terra with my brother's head. So Korra meets with Horus, and the two have it's terms of, Horus is like, I will come alone, I will not show up with Abaddon or anyone else, just a small contingent of my soldiers, I expect the same of you, we'll meet here. So Horus and Korra talk, and Horus is like, look, do you see what he's doing? You saw what he did on Monarchia. You saw what he did to everything in the galaxy. He doesn't care. He cares about being... Lorgar is right. He cares about being a god. And look what he does, look how much he hurt our brothers. Hurt our siblings. And she's just like, I can't deny that the Emperor... And she's like, that's the thing. You've never called our father, father. Like, you've never once acknowledged his fatherhood. So... the way I see it, like, Horus is like, the way I see it, you've already, like, had a hand in chaos. And she's like, I've never had a hand in chaos. I've had a hand in protecting the galaxy. And Horus is like, so I can already tell where this conversation's going. And she's like, I'm sorry, brother. I was hoping to see help. I only came here in good faith because I wanted to see my brother one more time and hope that he would see the light again. But now I see what I'm looking at is not my brother. And he goes, you're so right. So Horus does battle with Korra, and Korra almost gets her ass kicked, because turns out he didn't come alone. Horus fucking lied, and he shows up with Alpharius and the Alpha Legion, and Alpharius and Horus team up, attack Korra. She gets away, but is wounded, so she has to so as she's being healed, the rest of the fleet runs. Several Ursa Majors sacrifice themselves to make sure that their mother survives. And Korra is now, like, healing herself, and Tenzin's like, I'm proud of you. Like, I know you've never heard it from your father, but, like, I am proud, as a father would be, to see you stand up to your brother like that. And she's like, thank you. Thank you, Tenzin. You've been, Tonrock was my father, but you're a close second. And he's like, I'll take second place. So, the war continues. And among this, Korra is gets issued a new fleet captain after one of them gets killed, and it's Asami. Asami is also like an apostle of the of Mars. She's a tech. She was studying to be a tech priest, but the fleet needed soldiers, and she was an accomplished warrior. So they were like, "We're going to put you on that." And it was Tenzin who suggested, because he has such a he's a very influential tech priest. Tenzin was like, "Hey, our fleet captain got killed. I think her forces, her whole thing would be better served here." So Asami is now fleet captain and serves under Korra, who Korra really takes a liking to, and she's just like, Tenzin, and he's like, yeah, I know we're in war and all, but I've never seen beauty in war. And he goes, are you talking about the beauty of battlefield or the beauty of your fleet captain? And she's like, shut the fuck up. So the war continues, and Korra has to battle her way alongside the other uncorrupted brothers. In one such battle, she finds out that Angron and his demonic forces have overwhelmed the Imperial Fists, and she rushes to help. She gets there too late, and all they discover is a hand. But here's the thing. They were the first ones to get there. So what they do find is not just a hand, but also Rogel is still alive, but barely. So even though she's like, you stubborn old bastard, come here. So she's like, she grabs, her and her forces grab Rogel before Angron and the World Eaters return. And his body is badly damaged. So what happens is that she hides him away. Like, she's like, Rogel, like, the war's going pretty bad, and if they catch us with Rogel, they will kill him. So we have to put him somewhere where, you know, he'll be safe until the war's over, and his body will be healed. And they're like, you forgot the hand. And she's like, Rogel Dorn is more than just a hand. So there you go. There is your fanfiction. There's your fanfiction way of sorry about that. Like I said, there's your fanfiction way as to why Rogel could still return in the modern Warhammer 40k, but you saw his fist, it means he's dead. If you go by Star Wars, you need a body to see full death, and even then, death is like power napping to imaginary characters 90% of the time anyway. So there you go. Korra, in this fanfiction, saved Rogel and made sure that he would return in 40k at some point. Yeah. So the other thing is that Horus realized that it's time to take his sister off the board. So what happens is it's Lorgar and Fulgrim who are like, hey, we got an idea. It's going to be a fun one. So they fake a distress signal and send Korra and the Ursa Majors off to another planet. Korra and her fleet gets attacked by the Alpha Legion and the Night Lord fleets. That's going to be a running thing. And what happens is that they get attacked. They manage to fight them off, but the fleet's damaged. Korra and her forces go down to the planet and discover it's another fucking trap. And this time they get attacked by 4 Apostles of Chaos: Zahir, Gazan, Malin, whatever the hell the water one was, and Pali, who all represent they're 4 champions of chaos. You have Zahir, who's Zanich, Gazan, who's a champion of Corn, Lin Mei, I cannot remember the water one's name, that's Slanesh, and Pali is Nurgle. No, I switched that around. Pali is Slanesh, water one, that's Nurgle. So Korra has to fight all 4 of them at once, and while they're also leading demonic forces at the Ursa Majors. The battle gets so bad that Bolin is killed during the battle, and Mako, who is the chapter master and Bolin's brother, he's just like, I lost my brother over my actual brother. Like, we were both made into Space Marines at the same time. We were taken in as orphans. I lost my brother in this battle. They are forced to retreat and go back home. Here's the shit kicker. They were distracted. Even though Korra did kill Zahir and the others, she discovered that it was all a ruse, and Horus, alongside fucking Conrad, the Night Lords and the Sons of and the Black Legion razed her homeworld. It's just devastated, and thousands of people are dead. And at this point, Korra is like, I'm gonna fucking kill Conrad if it's the last thing I do. I'm gonna find the 3 people she's gunning for the most is Conrad, Alfarius, and Horus. So the war continues, and it does come to a bloody end with, of course, Horus killing Sanguinius, the Emperor getting crippled and left on the Golden Throne, and Horus dying. So they all return to Terra, and the remaining Primarchs are just... and Korra is there, and she's just like... she does agree with... even though she begrudgingly agrees with the Codex Astartes, but she's like, I got your back, Rabute. I had your back in there. Don't fuck this up. I lost so many of my sons to this war, and if this prevents another one, where I don't have to bury another one of my sons or my entire planet, don't fuck this up. So Korra goes out on the scouring. There is talk of Alfarius was killed, but Korra knows in her heart that wasn't Alfarius, it was that other guy, Omegon. So her thing is, I'm gonna go hunt the Alpha Legion, and first I'm gonna hunt, since I couldn't kill Horus, you know, the Emperor robbed us of that, and she even visits the Golden Throne, and she's just like, I hope you rot for the rest of your miserable immortal life, because I know you're still in there. So I hope you feel pain. I hope it hurts. And I want you to know that all of this, it wasn't Horus's fault. It was yours, you miserable corpse of a bastard of a corpse. Fucking rot there, father. So Korra, now that she can't kill Horus for what he did, she can still hunt down Alpharius and Conrad. So Korra and the Ursa Majors proceed to go on the hunt for those the other two traitor Primarchs while the scouring is going on. And she's following every lead until she eventually hunts down. She actually confronts Alpharius, and during their fight, he's like, because everyone's saying that's not Alpharius, that's that other guy, Omegon. Like, there's no way it's actually Alpharius. But she's like, I know my brother, that's Alpharius. And during the fight, Korra does land a killing blow on Alpharius, and he's just like dying on the he's sitting like kneeled on the ground, coughing up blood. He goes, I am Alpharius, and she's like, raise her sword, and she's like, I know, and now you're dead, and just fucking decapitates Alpharius. As for Conrad, she follows him all the way back to like just half across the galaxy, killing Night Lords left and right, until she does find Conrad, and she's just like, what you did to Elementus, my home, I am going to do to your world like 10 times over. And sure enough, like, she engages Conrad in single combat again, and it's like, you can't beat me. You fought me like several times, sister. You cannot defeat me in a single pitched combat. And she's like, I know, I was distracting you. The sons you so despise are being slaughtered by my vengeance-seeking sons, and I'm blowing that fucking planet of yours to Kingdom Come. And he's like, but there are innocents there. Doesn't that bother you that you've become me? And she goes, I'm killing millions of innocents. You killed billions on my world. There's no innocence left in this Imperium. So let your So Horus let the galaxy burn. I'm letting your planet burn. So Korra leaves after. She didn't exterminatus the planet. It was more like, I'm gonna fucking slap you down, Conrad. Even though she was wounded, Conrad's left wounded, and now his planet's destabilized. And by the end of it, she basically, her and her legions are like trying to do repair efforts to the Imperium. During the scouring, they hear that Rabute has gone missing after encountering Fulgrim, Jagatai's missing, Lehman Russ is gone, something happened to the Lion, and they can't find Dorn, and they were trying to find Dorn and bring him back, because he's got to be healed by now that, they can bring him to Terra and he can be, healed quicker, but Dorn's gone, something happened, where they left Dorn, he's not there anymore. So Korra decides that it's best to take her legion and go into the far reaches of space, because there's still the threat of chaos and unknown evils out there. So she and the Ursa Majors and her fleet, and they're like, will you ever return? And she's like, maybe one day, but for the meantime, and I think humanity will survive with or without the Imperium. But I will come back someday, when my brothers need me most. So, she and her fleet and her legion head off into the far galaxy. And that's the end of the story. So there you go, guys. That is Legend of Korra, the Horus Heresy. You guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. I wanted to put just the Horus Heresy and the Scouring as one continuous story, because there's no way I could get enough out of 3 parts, but yeah. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? Comment below, let me know. Once again, I know it's female Primarch bad, but yeah, it's fanfiction, who gives a shit? Anyway, once again, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.